One of the most important things I think I've ever heard in my life was this short story, not really a story, most sort of just question and answer, of a successful man being asked, how many times has he failed? And his response was very simple. It was simply, more times than you've tried. That resonated with me. I thought on that, took a walk thinking about that, and just how key failure is to anything in life. There's not one thing in anyone's life where they never fail once, unless they're not good at it. Take, for example, all of us, most of us who can walk, have this in common. We were little, didn't know how to walk. We had to crawl. You start crawling by rocking back and forth, slowly, and then babies kind of like crawl slowly, like one at a time, fall over, try again. Trial and error. Learn from your mistake, try again. And then walking, same thing, you have to fall flat on your face time and time again. And it's just kind of so interesting to me how failure gets demonized by many people. They think that just because they lost, or just because they didn't go their way, whatever they were doing didn't go their way, they just give up, and that's it. I mean, if we all gave up when we were babies, like, none of us would be walking. We'd all be laying on the floor. But, sorry, I lost my train of thought there a little bit. But, failure, not so much just failure, but tolerance to failure is very important. I can sit here all day, give you examples of times we fail as people, keep going, and eventually things work out, mostly. But that's not going to teach you nothing. That's not going to help you. The best way for failure to be a teacher is to firstly grow your tolerance to it. And you can grow your tolerance to failure in many ways. Some less painful than others. My favorite one I use is going to the gym. See, I never thought of it this way, but when you work out, let's say you're doing bench press, not make that squeak. You're doing bench press, right? Like this. And each rep is getting harder and harder until eventually you're gonna, get like halfway, you fail. Now you don't realize that this is actually helping your body a lot. You're just like, oh man, that hurt, But then you go and do another set. You failed. That's the equivalent of whatever struggle you're dealing with right now. And you've fallen back, whether you're doing, no fap, and you relapse. You have a business, you lost a bunch of bread. You're trading, you lost your trade. Whatever you may be you're doing, you can apply that to that. Notice how you don't get mad when you fail there, if you're doing that. Now, it's easier said than done to take that same mindset you have in the gym to that. But what I can tell you is that when you fail in the gym like that, if you truly take it for what it is, which is your body hit its maximum potential at that moment and did its best. That's what it did. And it failed. But when you go to sleep that night, throughout the next day, rest of the day, it repairs so that next time you do that, you're stronger. Maybe you're 1 rep stronger. Maybe you're a quarter of a rep stronger. Maybe you're so much or so little stronger that you don't even notice it. But you did get stronger because that's how your body works. Your body adapts. It realized, oh man, these chest fibers, these tricep, front delt fibers, they're not good enough to handle this rep and weights, whatever. That sounded dumb. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. But they got stronger because it learned, it saw what happened, saw what was lacking, and these fibers grow back stronger, bigger, thicker, whatever. But the important part is that your body automatically takes failure as a way to grow and get stronger. So it's taking that logic that is, your body and putting it in your mind. Your mind can absolutely follow that same logic, because that's all that failure is. It's a teacher. Yeah, L stands for loss. L stands for lesson. You've probably heard that before. If you haven't, congratulations. You just heard Self-Help YouTube's motto, pretty much. But what is key is, firstly, building your tolerance to failure, like I just mentioned. But secondly, is learning how to handle failure. Because you can handle it in two ways. You get mad, give up, come back frustrated the next day, or give up in general just forever. Or you can just be like, damn, that sucked. Give me 5 minutes, I'm gonna come back and figure out what happened. Give me 10 minutes, figure out what happened. You don't gotta go back and be a robot. You don't gotta be a robot. We have emotions, and you should understand that. I understand that. No, don't put the pressure upon yourself to not react at all. I mean, yeah, there's healthy reactions, unhealthy reactions. Healthy reaction is, all right, I'm good. Unhealthy reaction, getting mad, ruining your day, whatever. And as time goes on, you won't react like how I reacted as my healthy reaction. But for a starting point, that's not a bad reaction. For a starting point to failure, that is not a bad reaction. I mean, yeah, you don't want to like this breath in and covering my eyes. I'm clearing my head. I'm not soaking in my anger. Maybe I should have prefaced it that way, but that's what I'm doing. So it's just a simple cover my eyes, deep breath to clear my head, exhale out. I'm good. Now I'm going to get up. I'm going to detach myself from whatever it is for a few moments, and then come back and see what could have been done better. Because that is a healthy way of going about it. If I'm still mad, still upset, I can't learn. I'm human. I have emotions. I'm not a robot. Now, is it better to be a logical thinker than an emotional thinker for the most part? Yeah. Now, there's some things that emotions are more important, but I won't get into that. But when it comes to your work, emotions are going to be unavoidable. We're humans. They matter. They do matter. Now, can I say it's more important than your logical thinking? No. No, not at all, unless your work involves human emotions. Now, if you're working with people and their emotions, don't take this advice. But I'm yapping. Let me get back on the subject. Okay. When you're doing that and you're logically thinking with your emotions, because you can do that. That was logically thinking with your emotions. I am upset. I'm going to clear my mind. I keep giving that example, but whatever. So that's step number 2. Step number 2 is going to be clearing your head from that. That's how I go about it. That's worked for me very well, because I have had intense frustrations, hated what I'm doing, but it all worked out in the end. But it wasn't just some magical miracle. I learned how to handle loss. So then, number 1, train your failure tolerance, however that may be. Number 2, learn how to handle your loss. Number 3, learn how to assess your loss. Now, this is different. It doesn't matter. It's not a one-size-fits-all type of thing. Everyone's doing something different. I can't speak for everyone's failure. One person's failure might be this big, one person's failure is this big, one person's failure is this big, but it's about something else. There's no true one-size-fits-all for assessing your failure, but you can always take it for what it is, analyze, try to figure out where it went wrong, journal it, and what could have you done different? Or was it just completely unavoidable? Because some loss, some failure is just completely unavoidable. There was no way to know that was going to happen. Because that's just life. Life throws shit at you. Life does shit to you. You know, that's just life. You're religious. You know, God puts you through trials. Spiritual, the universe testing you. Logical. Whatever. However you want to think about it. We all know shit happens. That's what I'm trying to say. Shit happens. Sometimes you can't learn from it. But don't use that as a cope. Because 99% of the time you can. Trust me. I had a point where I was just coping. Every time I lost, like, oh, that was unavoidable. That just happened because it happened. No. 99% of the time, there was something that could have gone different or something that went wrong that could have been avoided. And that's that. Now, your 4 steps. 4-step guide of failure. Tolerate it, or build a tolerance for it. We went over that. Gym. Easy enough. 2, learn how to handle it. You know, that I've done 10 times now. And number 3, figure out what went wrong. Number 4, grow from it. There is a tree in my yard. I love it. It was a really big tree. I don't know why I did that. It's a really big tree, and another tree fell on top of it and broke off the top half of the tree. That happened years ago. And that tree every year still grows. Still grows leaves, still gets green, and has grown taller and taller. Even though the main trunk's missing, it's got these big branches growing upwards. And it grew back to become one of the biggest trees again. That tree didn't let failure take it. Don't let failure take you.